talking me.
Okay, sounds good. So let's go ahead and jump into these main topics, right? Because we've been here for a good minute. Um, let's talk about the first one. So PS5 has decided to give us game trials, and they've started initiating this with the director's cut of Death Stranding and Little Big Planet's Sackboy or whatever.
Sackboy's Big Adventure, yeah.
Right, right. So I thought that this was interesting considering the fact that we've never really had like solid demos for stuff, and you'd be like, damn, I wish that they just made demos for everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would be nice to like try a game that you might not be sure of. And this is a cool little way of doing it, but apparently it starts your timer as soon as you click the download button. So if you got shit internet and it takes you about an hour and a half to download the game, because you download the full game. It's the full game and you just got 6 hours to play it in. Well, 6 hours for a Death Stranding, 5 for a Sackboy.
Yeah.
So I mean, how do you guys feel about like the fact that it starts the moment you download, not like when you start the game, like when you start up the game?
I mean, it sucks, but at the end of the day, it's a free thing for an exclusive game. So I'll go ahead and just, if I get 1 hour to try an exclusive, that's good enough for me, in my opinion.
It's a solid demo hour. How about you?
I mean, yeah, it's a little discriminating, right, against people who have slow internet, right?
That's true, actually.
Like, if you have fast internet, that's not as big a deal to you.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you have slow internet, that sucks, right? That's not fair. Because my internet's slower, I get less time than Johnny down the street. Like, I mean, I don't know. I think that's weird. Another thing too, since it starts the moment you download, does that mean you have to have a 6 hour like window of your day? Can I come back to it like Monday?
They basically
like-
said that it starts like the moment you download. So if you're gonna initiate
You have
the
like
download,
6 hours to own it.
you got
To
you
physically
have
own
to
it,
sit
6
down and
hours,
play it for
physically
that
own
time.
it.
Yeah.
That's
So you would essentially plan
that's
your
way
day
worse than me.
around the one game. You would like, okay, I'm gonna play this director's cut. So I'm gonna start it at 8 in the morning. I'm gonna eat my breakfast. By 9:30, it should be good. I'll play until 5, and then it's done. You know what I mean, or whatever.
That's way too. That's stupid. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
But here's the thing I don't like the most. That this trial is limited. You could only download the game before October 28th.
Right.
So, like, dude, this is, like, so restricting. So
I think they're testing it out as well.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I think that's what they're doing. They're
Maybe.
trying to test it out. So like, hey, we'll do it on Sackboy, and then we'll do it on this director's cut and see how it goes. See if it maybe entices people to buy it more. Because when you've put in like
Yeah, that's the
3 or
point.
4 hours on a
obviously the
game,
point.
right? You might be like, oh, well, I'll just buy it.
I mean,
'cause
that's
wanna
obviously the
continue
point.
it.
Yeah, obviously the point is to entice people to buy it, obviously. I'm just thinking, like, do you think that this is their answer to Game Pass? Because it's, like,
Nah.
exclusive?
Well,
This just came out.
it can't be because it's limited like that. I mean, if you were to tack on a price point, or if you were to say, hey, if you're PS Plus, you get 10 hours to play all the new games that come out. Like,
I mean,
as a
imagine
trial.
if every game was this way. So when God of War comes out, you can play it for 5-6 hours before you buy it.
That'd be interesting.
Is that kind of like a counterpunch to Game Pass? I'm not saying this is what it is, but I'm just saying, is that what you think Sony might be thinking here? Is this their, like, of course, Sony's cheap way of competing with Game Pass? They're so cheap there, dude.
I feel like it wouldn't succeed
biggest
in that
cheapskates,
sense.
man,
I
so-
feel like I would be mashing if I knew I had 5 hours to play God of War for free. I'd probably mash through all of the scenes.
That's what
Just
I was
go
at-
straight
I was gonna
combat.
also ask you guys that too.
Well, I wouldn't enjoy the game the same way.
No. Imagine if you got your 5 hours. I might feel this way. Damn, man, I just spent 5 hours for free. Do I want to pay full price now? Because I've already enjoyed half the game, and I'm paying full price now.
For the other half.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm paying full price for 5 hours now instead of 10 hours. I was wondering that. Like, it might actually turn people off from wanting to buy the game or waiting until it's on sale to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Maybe.
How would you feel? I mean, my mind jumps to that.
I mean,
I would feel that way.
I would
I feel weird
probably.
spending full price now that I've already spent 5 hours on it.
Yeah, I would
getting less
probably
for my
only do
money.
it on games that I wasn't really for certain on, and then at that point, right, I think I would just be blowing through it to get the actual game, like to have the the fact I went through the game, I beat it. So like I'm not really paying attention to all of the little stuff that's in the game. You know, all of the things like, you know, where you would normally search around a whole map, look for little trinkets and shit like that you might find. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just following the strict path of the story. So whereas they said this game would give you 30 hours of gameplay, it only gave me 6 because I was able to beat it
I just
straightforward
think
story.
like that's the problem with this big chunk of time. Like 6 hours is a lot, and if you have fast internet, you can be on there 5 hours like straight playing. Like that's a lot of the game. 5 hours is a big chunk of the game, and so it feels like an answer to Game Pass. We're like, see, look, we're giving you our first party titles. You get to play a lot of it for free, without any subscription at all, right? And you get to pick and choose the ones you want to keep playing. But I think at the same time, that would turn me off from wanting to buy the game once I've already played it for 5 hours. I think this, with a 2-hour window, not forced 2 hours, so you can come back and return. So it's like a 2-hour play timer. That would work because I don't feel like I've spent too much time in the game. It still makes me want to buy it.
But you got
And I
enough
still
time
to
to
play
get
the
a
brand new
handle in the
game
game. Yeah.
right off the bat to see if I like it and not spend the money. That is a service I think I'm much more on board with.
Yeah, I think that this is interesting. I really want to see if every month are we getting 2 different exclusives. But I feel like they're trying to test that time frame to see. I'm
Yeah.
sure on the back end there's
What's
like,
the
all right,
sweet spot?
what
Yeah.
how many trophies did they get
Yeah.
out of all of them? You know what I mean? Because definitely, if I could beat half the game in the trial, I
Like
don't want to
Sackboy
buy it.
for sure, right? Like maybe not Death Stranding, but
Yeah.
Sackboy, you're getting
I
through,
wouldn't
like,
want to
probably
buy
a
it
good chunk of,
because
exactly.
I'm like, but if I'm just
Exactly.
scratching the surface, like let's say it's like a Witcher style game in 5 hours, you're
Right.
just
right.
turning
That's
over a
just
couple
the top.
stones.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think they got to be strategic at what games they're offering and how long, like you're saying, because maybe Sackboy 2
Mhm.
hours, because that's probably a
I think
short
with any game, like even with like Death Stranding, I'm sure you can get quite a bit of the feel of the fun of the game within 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Most
Yeah.
games, maybe.
I
Death
think
Stranding's
you
a walking
still
simulator, so
you
I don't
still
know.
probably
But
getting
most
the,
games, like with Death,
the fact
with
on the
Deathloop,
5 hours.
I would have
of
got
that one.
feeling a lot of good feel of the game after 2 hours. I think
Yeah.
on the game like
But-
Deathloop or most games in general.
Yeah, but I feel like them adding it, like you only have 4 weeks to try these out. That kind of changed it too, because not everyone's gonna experience
Totally.
this. You know what I mean?
Totally.
What if someone just had a baby in this month? I'm
Right. Exactly.
booked. So I don't know. I think this is just an experiment, and maybe they are trying to kind of dangle this over Microsoft. Like, hey, our heavy hitters, you could download it for free.
Yep.
So I'm curious to see.
Because it's such a big time chunk.
Yeah,
But GameStop, I mean, Game Pass has been doing that though.
yeah, but I'm saying
They're heavy hitters
this
anyway.
this
For free, though.
Yeah, this makes you want to have a PlayStation.
Oh, for free,
It's for free.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You don't
'Cause it
even
doesn't
need a
require
PS Plus account.
Yeah, dude.
subscription, yeah.
You just need a PS5.
Right.
So
Yeah.
this is for free.
Imagine if like Returnal was on here one month.
Right.
Imagine
5 hours of Returnal is a good.
if Demon
good
Souls was
amount of
on here
play.
one month. Like
Yeah.
there's some. That's just a good reason why to have a PlayStation. Man, I could get these bangers and at least
Exactly.
try them out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That feels like a Game Pass thing. Because think about it. A lot of the games we play aren't any more than we play a Game Pass game for 4 or 5 hours. That's it. We don't finish it.
Yeah.
Occasionally we do, but for the most part, we're like trialing games.
Just
out.
testing it out.
Yeah. So I feel like this is kind of like Sony's way of like.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is, but there's like a ring of like counter. Remember the whole video we made, the counterpunch to Game Pass?
Yeah.
Like maybe this might be something that.
Maybe
is.
this is what they were talking about.
It's a
and they're
trial
just
thing.
trying
They're
to see.
figuring things
Pretty
out, but
dope,
this
dude.
might be what they were kind of talking
It's
about.
pretty dope.
Like we just let them available and you can play them. It's just weird because I feel like Sony would be like hurting their bottom line by doing this, and Sony never hurts their bottom
Yeah.
line, dude. Sony cares deeply about their bottom line.
Yeah.
But if you only do it to some and you're not all of them,
Yeah.
Right.
The older
like what he
ones.
was saying, if you do like 2 a month, then maybe. But then you're not really combating Game Pass enough with that. I would feel like if you really wanted to like do it, then like make all of them. Like Horizon comes out, make it a trial for 5 hours, right? And like that's a long time, but you can really play a lot. That's a lot of play,
Yeah.
like for 5 hours, you know?
I think they're just adding value for the PlayStation, you know.
but maybe at the same
For
time
sure.
they're
We'll see.
counteracting that 5 hours because they know that sometimes it takes a long time for shit to download on the console. So they're
Yeah.
saying, hey, we'll give you 5, 6
I think we
hours.
all have pretty decent
See.
internet here, so it's not
Yeah.
like that big of a deal to us. But there are definitely some people out there who's
Yeah.
going to affect
Yeah.
for sure.
For sure. Man.
I love you, me.